You are standing in a courtyard in Ur 4,000 years ago, and you are afraid of your own house. Not of thieves, not of fire. You are afraid of the men who serve you, the priests who bless you, and the king who could, on a single afternoon, decide your grain stores belong to the state. Wealth in this world is not safety. Wealth is a target painted on your back, and everyone can see it. You assume being rich meant comfort, ease, power without consequence. It didn't. It meant living inside a permanent, low-grade siege.
Today, the top 1% of the world holds more combined wealth than the bottom 60% of humanity. Modern billionaires travel with armored convoys and biometric vaults. Private security firms now outnumber public police in over a dozen countries. Offshore accounts hide more than $20 trillion from taxation and seizure. Inheritance law, insurance, diversified assets. Entire industries now exist for one purpose only: to protect wealth from the same threats that stalked it 5,000 years ago.
No civilization sat down and designed the concept of the rich. No king woke up one morning and invented inequality on purpose. It emerged, an accident of surplus, an accident of grain. And the story of how it became permanent is still, in places, a mystery.
The surplus problem. Picture a Neolithic village 8,000 years ago, granaries full after a good harvest. For the first time in human history, there is more food than anyone can eat in a season. This should be good news. It isn't. Not entirely. Surplus creates a question no forager band ever had to answer. Who controls it?
Anthropologist Brian Hayden has argued that early wealth didn't come from farming itself, but from certain individuals, aggrandizers, who used surplus to host feasts, create debts, and bind others into obligation. The mechanism is simple. Give people something they can't easily repay, and they owe you labor, loyalty, or land. Repeat this for a few generations, and obligation calcifies into hierarchy. Nobody voted for this. The surplus simply made it possible, and someone always steps forward to exploit what's possible.
The price of being seen. In the tombs of Ur, archaeologists uncovered something disturbing. Royal graves surrounded by dozens of attendants, buried alive or poisoned to accompany their master into death. Wealth at this level wasn't just envied. It was owed a body count.
Sir Leonard Woolley's excavations at the Royal Cemetery of Ur,
dated to roughly 2600 BCE, revealed retainer sacrifice on a scale that stunned the archaeological world. The mechanism here is brutal, but logical. Extreme wealth needed an afterlife guard, a permanent staff, proof of status so total it extended past death itself. Being rich in this world didn't buy you safety. It bought you a target so large, your servants died beside you to prove it.
The tax on everything. Fast forward to Rome. A wealthy senator did not simply enjoy his fortune. He performed it constantly at enormous personal cost. Public games, grain distributions, temple funding. This was euergetism. The expectation that the rich pay for civic life or lose their standing entirely.
Historian Peter Brown has described this as a kind of social contract. Wealth exchanged for prestige, prestige exchanged for political survival. The mechanism? In a world without income tax, the community extracted its share through obligation and shame instead. Refused to fund the games, and you weren't just disliked. You were finished. There was no such thing as private wealth in ancient Rome. There was only wealth the crowd allowed you to keep. When wealth became dangerous to hold, here is where the story turns. Because the deeper threat to ancient wealth was never poverty.
it was the state itself. Across Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Roman records, one pattern repeats. Rulers periodically confiscated the fortunes of the too successful. In Egypt, temple estates that grew too powerful were stripped by pharaohs, resetting the balance of power. In Rome, emperors like Caligula and later Commodus seized the estates of wealthy senators on invented charges, a practice historians call proscription when done at scale.
This is the civilization-level consequence. No ancient elite ever achieved permanent security. Wealth without legal protection is not wealth. It's borrowed time. And the entire arc of human legal history, from Roman property law to modern constitutional rights, exists because humanity spent thousands of years trying to solve this one unsolved problem. How do you make riches survive the ruler? That fight, the fight to make wealth outlast power, is the quiet engine behind almost every legal system built since.
The invention of safety. By the time we reach medieval Italy, something new appears: the bank. Merchant families like the Medici didn't just hoard gold, they built systems. Letters of credit, double-entry bookkeeping, diversified holdings across cities, so no single seizure could wipe them out.
You are still standing in that courtyard in Ur, but now you understand what you're looking at. The guards aren't just protection, they're an admission that your wealth invites violence. The priests blessing your grain aren't just tradition, they're the price you pay to keep the crowd from turning on you. Every gold ring on your hand is a debt owed to fear. For most of human history, being rich didn't mean being free. It meant being watched, taxed, feasted from, and eventually buried with the people who served you. Proof that no fortune, however vast, ever really belonged to just one person. You think wealth means safety. It never has. It only means you're the one everyone else is watching.